Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? And welcome to the latest edition of Drew Mania Live. So nice to have you with us for this Wednesday, the 23rd day of September, the year 2020. And of course, this is yours truly, Andrew L. Perry. Thank you very much. As always, coming to you live and at you from the busy streets of New York City as I chat to you what is happening in the world of sports. Well, we got a lot to do. We have a lot to do today. But before we get into the NFL, before we get to week 2, before we get to the baseball, as much as we can, we gotta open up the show talking about the passing of a great. The greatest running back of all time. Before Walter Payton, before Emmitt Smith, before Brian Mitchell as a special teams NFL for special teams, there was Gale Sayers. One of the greatest, one of the most dynamic and electrifying and exciting players of all time. I didn't watch him play personally. He passed away today at the age of 77. And I watched films of him, and wow, how incredible player he was, how dynamic he was, how smooth he was. You know, he did the record. The record that still holds to this day, scoring 5 touchdowns at Wrigley Field. I don't remember the name. I don't remember the year. Forgive me. Against the San Francisco 49ers. It's still a record, still to this day. But and of course, who can forget the story? The story of those of you who are familiar with the movie with Brian Piccolo, the Brian song with Gale Sayers. You can't forget about that. But like I said, before Walter Payton, he's the greatest Chicago Bear, and the greatest running back in the history of the league. And he don't get mentioned enough because the running backs that came before him, Walter Payton, as I mentioned, Walter Payton. I keep bringing up Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Curtis Martin. You know, one of those players that a lot of players that play with him or played against him will tell you how quick he is, you know, how athletic he is, explosive, you know, contribute to the play with George Halas, the youngest player to ever be inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1977. Spending his whole entire career with the Chicago Bears, and also play with the great coach of George Papa Bear Halas, who is the Chicago Bear, the foundation of the Chicago Bear, and he will be missed. It will be missed. Gale Sayers passed away at the age of 77. And he will be missed. Our condolences goes out to him and his family. As I mentioned, he will be missed. Let's get to the NFL. Staying with the NFL for a second. Staying with the NFL. For the first time since the 1970s, the PPG combined of touchdowns is 54, which is really high. What I mean by that, they score more touchdowns, and it's only week 2. We see more touchdowns left and right. So, part of some of it was part of the biggest collapse, the second biggest collapse in Falcons history, if you want to call it Falcons history, in the franchise history. Let's get to and staying with the NFL. I don't know if anybody watched this game. Watched this after the Jets was a non-competitive game against the San Francisco 49ers. But in a weird way, I had a feeling that the Falcons was not gonna keep this lead after what we saw in the Super Bowl. So I don't know why people should be shocked. But to me, we saw it coming. Because the Atlanta Falcons have shown us before they don't keep leads. They don't keep leads. And they made some bonehead decisions. Not even with the onside kick. Forget about that. Okay? Let's go back to the 2-point conversion. The 2-point conversion. To me, and I get to Dallas too. What's wrong with kicking the extra point? Why you guys didn't kick the extra point? Why did you go for it? Why did you go for 2? Not every situation you have to go for 2. And you signed Todd Gurley. Not in that play, but in a situation. Run the damn football. What I don't understand was what coaches of today that don't run the football when there's time, when you have a huge lead. Take time off the clock. Stop being cute in the last minute. Take possession of. Run out the clock. Dallas didn't have a lot of timeouts left. Have the feel of the game. That goes for all coaches too. Have a feel of the game. Stop trying to Stop trying to be cute. Not every situation you have to go for 2. Not every situation you don't need to go for 2. Run the football. Kick the extra point. Why are you going for it? Why are you going for 2? Y'all doing too much. And that's why, with some of y'all, it cost y'all the game. It cost y'all the game. Because I'm pretty sure if they would have managed like they did, if the Atlanta would have managed the game properly, just like in the Super Bowl 4 years ago, Atlanta would have been Super Bowl champions. And the result, the Cowboys come back and the Patriots came back. And Dan Quinn, if you think Dan Quinn is not going to survive after this. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if the Falcons don't win if the Falcons don't make the playoffs, if the Falcons don't overcome this, and they look like they won't, Dan Quinn ain't gonna survive. Dan Quinn is not gonna survive. As far as now, to the Cowboys. Okay, you're down 31 to, you're down 30, 39, 31. Again, with the Cowboys. Kick the freaking extra point. Why you guys are going, taking the 2? Why are you going for 2? Y'all going for 2. The coaches of today, y'all don't have a feel of what's going on. Y'all don't check the room. Check the field of what's going on. have an awareness of what's happening in the game. They are not paying attention. You don't, certain things, you don't always have to go for 2 all the time. Just like you don't have to go for it all the time, unless you have to. But the coaches, y'all make too many bonehead decisions and don't have a feel of what's going on. And back to the Cowboys. Back to the Cowboys. Cowboys, y'all got a lot of work to do. Yes. Y'all defense in both sides have a lot of work to do. Your defense was putrid. And if you think you're going to make you're going to win that, you might win that division by a landslide. You might win that division. But I'm telling you right now, if y'all go to, if my brother think they're going to go to the Super Bowl, you got another thing coming. They're not a Super Bowl team. And kudos to Dak Prescott for coming back, for bouncing his team back the way he did. You know, go for them. Great win for the win. Great. Moving on to the Raiders. Move on to the Raiders. Raiders are 2-0. They look great. Give them credit. I like the fact that John Gruden decided to kick a field goal, because even he would have missed. If he missed, he missed, and they would have ripped John Gruden to shreds. You don't give a quarterback like Drew Brees a shot. But the Saints did not look like the Saints from yesteryear. They look like they got shot. They really do. And I'm from New York. At this point, I know both injuries are good. And talking about the injuries, listen, Giants fans, y'all knew y'all wasn't going anywhere anyway. So the idea to get upset, to Saquon Barkley, don't get me wrong, Saquon Barkley is a huge loss, but everybody knew, mama, we all know the Giants wasn't going anywhere. But the Jets are worse. At this point, if I ever choose between the Giants or the Jets, I'd rather watch the Giants. At least the Giants were competitive, unlike the Jets. Ugh. And if I'm the Jets, if anybody in that Jets organization, I'm telling you, the only way the Jets are going to get better, you got to get Adam Gase out of here. Adam Gase is not going to be a playoff team. They're not even a Super Bowl type of team. After what I saw, even though they wasn't going to beat the San Francisco 49ers, the Jets are just so putrid. And with that, that's going to do it for this edition of Drew Mania Live. Thank you so much for listening. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for listening. I'm sorry I can't get to anything. I can't get it to any sports as I can. I just stick to the NFL. But if you want to listen to this episode, but nevertheless, thank you for watching. If you want to listen to this episode again, please go to Spreaker.com, type in the keyword Andrew L. Perry. Once again, go to Spreaker.com, type in the keyword Andrew L. Perry, and always follow my show on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and iHeartRadio, and whatever you listen to your podcast. Until next time, this is Andrew Perry. Always say to you, shalom, let peace go with you, and I'll talk to you in the next Drew Mania Live. So long, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful Wednesday.